सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्म उपनिषदं माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु। तदात्मनि निरते योपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ इत्येतदक्षरमुद्गीतमुपासीत ॐ इति ह्युद्गायते तस्योपव्याख्यानम् न व्यदश्रुतेः अस्तितो गौण्यसम्भवात् शब्दाच्च स्याच्चैकस्य ब्रह्मशब्दवत् प्रतिज्ञा अहानिः अव्यतिरेकात् शब्देभ्यः यावद्विकारं तु विभागः लोकवत् यावद्विकारं तु विभागः लोकवत्। Wherever there is vikara, you also find a vibhaga. Where vikara is there, modification is there. आवाज थोड़ा ओछो करी शकाय। Where there is a product, a karya. So whenever something is karyam, an effect, a product, a modification, we find that there is vibhaga. It is separated or distinguished from others. So there are always distinctions between the different members who are products or effects. Like there are many pots and pans from clay, every pot and pan is different from every other one. Thus, this is the nature of karyam, nature of effect, nature of that which is produced, which is born, which is created. It is the nature of anything that is created, that ajivochu, that it stands distinct from other created things. So this is the reasoning that is given now to establish that Akasha is created. All argument is going on to establish how Akasha or space is not created. And as we said yesterday, and we have been saying it every day in fact, that this is the argument of an Ekadeshi, what they call a Suro Vedantin, or one who accepts one part of Vedanta, who wants to establish that there is Ekavakyata, a unity of purport between the different statements of Shruti, particularly these statements talking about the creation. One of Chandogya Upanishad, Tat Teja Srujata, etc., and the other one of the Taittiriya Upanishad, Tasmad va etasmad Atmana Akasha Sambhutah. It looks as though one Shruti talks about the creation of 5 elements beginning from space, other Shruti talks about the creation of 3 elements only, the fire, water and earth. So are these Shrutis talking about the same thing? Is there an Ekvakyata? Is there a unity of purport, or they are not? Apparently it looks like they are talking about different things. One Shruti talks about the creation of space, other Shruti does not talk about it, meaning that Chandogya does not seem to accept the space as an element, whereas Taittiriya accepts it. So there is some apparent contradiction. To avoid that apparent contradiction, the Ekadeshi said that the Shruti of Taittiriya Upanishad is Gauni, is only in a secondary sense, meaning that even though it says the space is created, it is not really created. And therefore, Chandogya Upanishad, which talks about the creation of 3 elements, is the primary Shruti. But Vedantin says no. And for that, variety of arguments were given. Asambhavat. That there is no possibility that space can be created because the samagri, the various materials that are required, various factors that are required for creation of space are not present. And therefore, space is not created. So there is an anumanam. Anumana is akasha akaryam. Akasha akaryam. Akasha is not a karya. Why? Because asambhavat. There is no possibility of creation of Akasha because the various causes are not there. The samavai, asamavai, nimitta karanam, they are not there. And so to that, against that, this other argument is given that what is it? Akasha, vikara, vivaktatvat, ghatadivaditi. So they said Akasha na utpadyate samagri shunyatvat. This was the anumanam argument of the Ekadeshi. Akasha na utpadyate samagri shunyatvat. The Akasha is not created because there is absence of samagri, absence of the requisite factors required for creation. Against that, the Siddhanta is making his argument Akasha vikara vivaktatvat ghatadivadati. The Akasha is vikara, is a modification, is created vivaktatvat because it is distinct from other things such as earth, etc. Ghatadivat, like ghata, is created. So ghata is the illustration where both the hetu and sadhya must be present. So ghata, ghatavat, so ghat like a pot. So there, the sadhya, that ghata is a karyam, is created, and hetu, and that it enjoys the distinctions. It is distinguished from or separatedness from other things. So therefore, wherever we find separatedness, the karya must be there. So ghata is an example where sadhya and hetu both are present. Sadhya is that, so utpadyate, or ghata is karya vikara. Ghata is a modification. At the same time, ghata is what? Vivaktatvam, that it is distinct from other Ghata, Spata, etc. Therefore, wherever now we find the Hetu, Vivaktatvam, we can conclude that the Vikaratvam must be there. Akasha is Vivaktam, Prithivya, from other elements, earth, etc. Akasha is distinct, therefore Akasha must be an effect. This is the line of arguments here. So yata yavat kinchit vikaradatam dushyate. So wherever we find anywhere, this is the vyapti. This is the universal rule. Yavat vikaram. Wherever, without exception, wherever vikara or modification is seen, gata ghatika udanchanadi, like a pot, like a pitcher, etc. Karakakeyur kundaladi, like a bracelet, an armlet, etc. Suchi naracha nistrimshadi, like a needle, like an arrow, etc. So these are the lokavat common examples in our day-to-day life. Tavaneva vibhago loke lakshate. In all of this, we find that a suchi is different from a naracha, a needle is different from an arrow, that's again different from nistrimsha, a sword, or a ghata is different from ghatika, udanchana, etc. So how an ornament, for example, which is created is different from other ornaments. It enjoys the vivaktatvam, distinctiveness or separatedness. So this is our observation. This is vyapti is first established. Nadu avigradam kinchit kutasit vivaktam upalabhyate. Whereas what is not created, such as Atma, we do not find that Atma is distinct from anything, anywhere. Vivagasya akashasya prithivyaadibhya avagamyate. On the other hand, Akasha is not like that. Vivagasya akashasya prithivyaadibhya avagamyate. We find that Akasha or space is an element, is different from other elements such as earth. So there is the vibhaga, the separatedness. Tasmat sopi vikara bhavitamarhati. Therefore, akashopi vikara bhavitamarhati. Therefore, akash also must be, should be a vikara, a modification. Etena dikkala manah parmanvadinam karyatvam vyakyatam. Etena vivaktatvena. Similarly also, other entities which the Vaisheshikas claim as uncreated, as nitya or permanent, is paramanu, manaha. Then, so this dik, kala, the directions, the time, the atoms, the mind, all these entities are claimed to be nitya, uncreated by the Vaisheshikas, but all of them are distinct from others. Therefore, their vivaktatvam is there, therefore the vikaratvam is there, they are all modifications. Nanu atma api akashadibhya vivakta iti. But if vivaktatvam, if separatedness is a criterion for establishing the modification, then atma also is different from space, etc. Iti tasyapi karyatvam ghatadivat aprapnoti. Then if atma is different from space and other things, then it also is a vikara. It's also a modification like a pot. Then the answer is na atmana akasha sambhuta iti shrutehe. He says no. Akasha does not stand apart from Atma. Akasha does not stand apart from Atma because Akasha is a product of Atma. Atma is the material cause and Akasha is the effect, and in fact never stands apart from material cause. So the Anuman is given, Anumanam is like this. Nanu Atma Karya Vivaktatvat Vastutvad Va. Ghatavat iti. So Atma also is a karya, or karya means also an effect. Vivaktatvat, because Atma is, seems like Atma is different from space, etc. Vastutvadva, Atma also is an entity and space also is an entity. So entities are different from each other. Ghatavat, like pot is a karya, is an entity. इति आशंक्य आत्मनः परमकारणत्वेन श्रुतस्य. So now the Vedantin is giving a different kind of argument. Atmana Paramakaranattvena Shrutasya. Shruti says that Atma is Paramakaranam, the ultimate cause, the uncaused cause. Atma is the cause of everything, but itself does not have a cause. And so it is the ultimate Upadana Karanam, the material cause. It is very Atma, and material cause is the self of the effect. Like the clay is the Atma of the pot, etc. So also if Atma is the material cause of the universe, then it is the self of all. So Paramakaranattvena Shrutasya Karyatve Shunyata Prasangahedi. Now argue in a different way. If you say that Atma also is created, then Shunyata Prasanga, because a thing is not present before its creation. So what is created is characterized by Pragabhava, prior non-existence. Therefore, if Atma also is created, that means that Atma did not exist before its creation. If Atma did not exist, then the cause of the creation did not exist. The Upadana Karan did not exist. And Upadana Karan itself is Atma. Therefore, Atma, the self, did not exist. यदि आत्मा भी विकार स्यात् तस्मात् परम अन्यत् न श्रुतमेति आकाशादि सर्वं कार्यं निरात्मकं आत्मा कार्यत्वे स्यात्. Atma is karya, then the whole universe beginning from Akash would be niratmakam, nirupadanam, without upadanam. So Atma is upadanam. You say that is also created. Then before Atma is created, there is no upadanam. So without upadanam things are created, meaning that everything is created from shunyam, and therefore shunyavada prasajyeta. There will be the situation when there will be shunyavada, meaning that everything resolves into shunyam, everything resolves into nothingness. So now Ratnaprabha says, this page 508, in the fourth line, Ishta prasangayati. Good. So when you say day, then Shunyavada prasanga, there will be this situation that Shunyavada says Ishta prasanga, that's good. So Shunyavadi is happy. Okay, that's what we have been saying. Iti vadandam pratyaha. If someone says that Shunyavada is desirable, to that, now answer is given. Atmatvadadi. So on the page 508, third line. Atmatvacha Atmanah Nirakarana Shanka Anupapattihi. Atmatvacha. But the very fact of Atma being Atma, self being self, Nirakarana Shanka Anupatti, it is not possible to do Nirakaranam. You cannot reject it. You cannot negate it. The negation of Atma, so Shunyavada is possible when everything is negated. Everything is, so you reject it. Or negated, they say repudiated, whatever. So, only when you can negate something, then nothing is left, that is Shunyavada. But here Bhashyakara says, Atma being Atma cannot be negated. So, negation is possible only for that which is Anatma. But Atmatvacha, Atmana, Nirakarana Shanka, Anupatti. It is not tenable that Atma can be negated because it is Atma. Look at the Nyaya Nirnaya, second line, Nirakarta Asti Nava. So let us see whether Atma can be negated, whether self can be negated or not. Nirakarta Asti Nava. So we ask the Shunyavadi, please tell us whether Nirakarta, the negator, the one who negates, one who rejects, is it there or not? Adye Nirakarta eva Atmayati Atmana Nitya Sattvam. You say that there is a negator who negates everything. Then even after negating everything, the negator remains. In that case, so Nirakarta eva Atma, the negator himself is Atma. Therefore Atma Nitya Satyatvam. Therefore Nitya Sattvam Atma is always existent. Dvitiye tadabhave nirakana asiddhe. You say that no, nirakana rejection is there, but there is no one to reject. Rejection is, if there is no one to reject, then rejection itself cannot take place. The rejection is a kriya. Rejection is an action. An action also requires an agent of action. And so if there is no one to negate, then negation itself cannot take place. So that is what is meant by Atmatvacha Atmana Nirakana Anupatti. It is untenable, not logical. That Atma, if Atma is a negator, the negator cannot negate himself. Our Swamiji's, the story of Swamiji says that I will define truth. So this man comes and says, how can you define truth? Truth defined is truth defiled. Says, don't worry, come to lecture tomorrow, I will define truth. But please tell me, I will come to lecture, tell me. Okay, what is truth? That which cannot be negated is truth. Abhadhitam satyam. That fellow flabbergasted. Hey, you have defined truth? Says, yes. Then comes back next evening before the lecture. Swamiji, I thought about it for the whole night. It's a wonderful definition, but there is nothing like that. Everything can be negated. So don't worry, come to the class. I will come to the class, just tell me. Is there something that cannot be negated? Says, yes, the negator cannot be negated. One who rejects, one who negates, he cannot, because he cannot be both karta and karma simultaneously. That will come here anyway. This is, of course, what Ratnavara already saying in here. Atma bhava kenachid jnayate nava. Now that's said in a different way. Atma bhava kenachid jnayate nava. Please tell us whether absence of Atma, the absence of Atma, is it known to somebody or not? What is Shunyam? Shunya is Atma is not there. Alright? So is there someone who experiences the absence of Atma or not? Adye yognata saparishyadedi na shunyata. See, anupatti, what upapatti is. So how upapatti meaning the reasoning is not possible. Meaning what you are saying is not in keeping with the reason. So reason can be either Atma bhava kenide jnayate nava. Whether the absence of Atma is known to somebody or not. Adye yognata saparishyadedi na shunyata. In the first case, if the absence of Atma is known, then the one who knows is residue remains, therefore na shunyata. Dvitiyepi na shunyata man abhavat. He says, no, there is nobody to know the absence of Atma. If there is nobody to know the absence of Atma, then how do you know Atma is absent? If there is somebody to know the absence of Atma, then that somebody is there. That means Shunyata is not there. And if you say that, no, there is nobody knows the absence of Atma, then how do you know there is absence? Because something can be established only when there is a witness. So if there is nobody to see the non-existence of Atma, then how do you say Atma is absent? Therefore, Mana Abhavat. If there is no knower of the absence of Atma, there is no pramanam, there is no evidence of the absence of Atma. That is Anupatti. Then Ratnabhava continues, Kincha Yaddikaryam Satta Sphurtyo Anyapeksham Tan Nirakaryam. Yaddikaryam, whatever is karyam, whatever is created, Satta Sphurtyo Anyapeksham. The rule is that whatever is created, Anyapeksham, is dependent upon something else. Satta Sphurtyo, for Satta and Sphurti, for existence and for being revealed, an effect is dependent upon something else. The material cause, such as a pot, is a karyam, is an effect, is created. Therefore, pot does not enjoy an independent existence. Pot depends upon clay for its existence, the material cause. Pot also cannot reveal itself independently. Pot can reveal itself only when the clay is revealed. So, an entity, a karya, an effect such as a pot, is anyapeksham. Anyapeksham meaning it is dependent upon something. For satta sphurtyo, for its satta, for its existence, and for revealing itself, it is dependent upon its material cause, in this case, the clay. And tan nirakaryam, tan nirakarana yogyam. So that which depends upon something else for its existence and for its revelation can always be negated. Like, since the pot does not enjoy an independent existence, pot enjoys a dependent existence, therefore it can be negated. It can be destroyed. There will be no pot. It is possible that there is no pot, because pot depends upon clay for its being there. So that is nirakaryam, nirakarana yogyam, that can be negated. Because then also something will remain. Even when the pot is negated, clay remains. Therefore, pot is negatable, and thus any karyam, anything that is created, is negatable. Atma tu akarya nirapekshvatvat. Now see this another thing. What is karyam? Satta sphurtyo anyapeksham karyam. A definition of karya. Satta sphurtyo anyapeksham. For satta and sphurti, that which depends upon something else, that is the nature of karya. Atma is akarya nirapekshvatvat. But Atma is what? Self-existent and self-revealing. For Sakta, for being there, and Sphurti, for revealing itself, Atma does not depend upon anything else. Atma is self-existing and self-revealing. It is Svata Siddha, Svaprakasha. Therefore, Akarya. It does not depend upon anything else for its existence and shining, therefore it is not an effect. Na badayogya hai. And what can be negated? Only karyam can be negated. A dependent entity can be negated. So Maya depends upon Brahman for its existence, therefore Maya and Maya karyam can be negated. Brahman does not depend upon anything, so Brahma Satyam, Jagan Mithya. Why is Jagan Mithya? Jagat means the Nam Rupatmakam Jagat. The Jagat, characterized by name and form, enjoys a dependent existence, a dependent reality, and therefore it is subject to being negated, therefore it is Mithya. Brahma Satyam, but Brahma is self-existing, self-shining, independent, therefore not negatable, therefore it is Satyam. सो भाष्यकर नहीं आत्मा इत्यादि भाष्यकर says नहीं आत्मा आगंतुक है कस्यचित् स्वयं सिद्धत्वात्। नहीं आत्मा आगंतुक है, और आगंतुक मीन्स कमिंग एंड गोइंग, incidental. They call it adventitious or incidental. Atma is not incidental entity. It is inherent. So in case of this part, there is something incidental and something inherent. The part, the name and form are incidental, agantuka, because there was a time when this name and form did not exist, and then they came into existence when pot was created. So this name and form or part is agantuka, meaning it is incidental. It need not be there. It is there under certain conditions, not there under different conditions. Whereas clay is not incidental, it is inherent. Clay was there before, it is there now, it will be there later also. So pot is a combination of the essential and incidental. Only incidental part can be negated. Essential or inherent cannot be negated. So nahi atma agantuka kasit, for anybody, atma or the self is not incidental. Swayam siddhatvat, because self is self-existing. So two things are being shown here. How atma is self-existing and self-shining. Swayam siddha and swaprakasha. So, nahi atma agantuka kasyachit, Ratnavara explains. Kasyachit means what? Kasyachit karanasya. Agantuka means karya. Nahi, atma nahi. Atma is to be added. Nahi agantuka kasyachit. Atma kasyachit karanasya agantuka karya nahi. Atma is not for any karana, for any cause. So for clay, the pot is incidental. So for cause such as clay, the pot is incidental. There is no such thing for which Atma is incidental. There is no karanam for Atma. The pot is incidental because the clay is the cause of the pot. The effect is incidental for the material cause. But Atma doesn't have any cause, and therefore for any cause Atma is not incidental. Why is it so? Satta sphurtyoho siddhyoho ananyayatattvad iti aksharartha. Satta sphurtyoho siddhyoho ananyatvad. Satta sphurtyoho, it is a dual of the sixth case. For satta and sphurti, siddhyoho, for establishing the satta and sphurti. Meaning that for existing and for shining, Atma is independent. So that which is dependent upon something else for existence and shining is an incidental entity. And that which does not depend upon anything else for existence and shining, satta and sphurti, is an essential inherent entity. तत्र स्फूर्तेः अनन्यायतत्वं विवृणोति. So now the statement is made. That's what you are saying. Atma is swayam siddha swaprakasha, meaning Atma is satta sphurtyoho ananyat so anapeksha. For satta and sphurti, Atma is independent. So you prove it. How Atma is self-existing and Atma is self-shining, you have to prove that. Show it. Satra sphurtehe ananyayatattvam vivrunoti. How Atma for sphurti, for revealing itself, Atma is ananyayatah. So anapeksha, anya anapeksha, not dependent upon anything else. That's what Bhashyakar explains nahi iti. So next sentence is nahi atmanah pramanam apeksha siddhyate. Nahi atma, one word is missing. Nahi atma atmanah pramanam apeksha siddhyate. So atma does not depend upon any means of knowledge for revealing itself. What is pramanam? Pramakaranam pramanam. So that which is a means of valid knowledge is called pramanam, means of knowledge. Atma does not require any means of knowledge for being known. Or Swami used to say that everything in the universe requires a pramanam, a means of knowledge for being known. Nothing in the creation can reveal itself on its own. A thing can reveal itself only when it is illumined by a means of knowledge. A part can be seen only when illumined by the eyes, meaning by consciousness. Consciousness illumines mind, that illumining eyes, that illumines the part. So anything in the creation, such as the part, requires something else to reveal it. Nothing is self-revealing, self-shining. It is called Jadam. It is a Paraprakasham. It is always illumined by something else. Whereas Atma, the I, that I am is self-revealing. I do not require any proof from anybody else. The Atma, Atmana Pramana Apeksha Siddhyati. I do not require any proof or evidence to know that I am. I do not need somebody else to tell me that I am. I may need somebody to tell me where I am. As after an accident, you wake up in the emergency, where am I? So you may need somebody to tell you. But that I am, I don't need to be told in any conditions. So, thus there are two kinds of entities in the universe. One that is self-revealing. Everything else that reveals itself when illumined by something else. Everything requires, so pramana apeksha siddhyati anatma. The anatma, non-self, can only, the existence of a non-self such as part can be established only when there is pramanam, a means of knowledge which reveals that. Nahi atma, atmana, pramana apeksha siddhyati. But atma does not require any means of knowledge for itself for its proof, for its being there. So, in the Nyaya, this argument was given, Atma Karanasyeva Akashadi Karanatvat Na Sarvasya Niratmakatvam Iti Asankyaha. Anyway, that's already done. Okay, that's okay. So, tasyapi swayameva sadhakatvat. Here, Ratnamala quotes Sureshwaracharya. Yaduktam Sureshwaracharya hi pramata cha pramanam cha prameyam pramitistatha yasya prasada siddhyante tat siddho kimapekshate iti. So this is the source of that. And of course this is from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad also. Yasya prasadat, by whose grace? Pramata, the knower. Pramana, the means of knowledge. Prameyam, that which is known. Prameti, the cognition, the knowledge of cognition. So four factors are required here for this transaction to take place. For any knowledge to take place, you require the knower. That is pramata. You require object known, such as a pot, that is prameyam. You require pramanam, means of knowledge, such as eyes in this case, and then as a result, the pramiti, the cognition takes place, the pot thought takes place. So the knower is there, known is there, means of knowledge, and then the cognition, namely the ghatakara vritti. All of these can exist provided all of them are revealed by Atma. So yasya prasada siddhyanti, by whose grace, by whose illumination. Only when the self illumines, the pramata also, the knower also is aham vritti, by the way. So pramata or knower also is illumined by the self, and knowledge also illumined by self, known also illumined by self, means of knowledge, everything is illumined by the self. As we said, self with the consciousness first illumines the mind, and that in the illumined mind in turn illumines the eyes. So pramana is illumined. That in turn illumines the pot, so pot also is illumined. And what is pramata? Pramata is the consciousness identified with the aham vritti. Aham vritti also is illumined. And what is pramiti? The ghatakar vritti, that is also illumined by the consciousness. Tat siddho kim apekshate. So by whose grace all of these are established, the presence of all of this is known, because of whom? What do you need to illumine him? To know its presence. Iti. Tatha shruti aha purusha swayam jyoti. Bhudanika Upanishad says, so purusha swayam jyoti must come from somewhere, So this purusha means the Paramatma is swayam jyoti, self-effulgent. Bhudanika Upanishad uses the word atma, Since swayam jyoti is Brahmanam, the Atma is used here, Purusha Swayam Jyoti. Tasya Vasa Sarvamidam Vibhati. Tasya Vasa, by his, all of this shines by his light. Iti cha. Then the further, Nanu Atmana Swatasiddhau Pramana Vairthyam. If Atma is self-shining, self-existing, then what's the need of the pramana, means of knowledge? Or Nyayana says, Pratyakshadi atirekena atmana siddhatve tesham anarthakyam. So we have many means of knowledge. All the organs of perception are all means of knowledge. So that is called pratyaksham, the perception. And depending on perception, we have the inference and other means of knowledge. So the statement was made that I am does not require perception or inference or any means of knowledge, it is self-revealing. So then the Purupakshi says, Pratyakshadi atirekena atmana siddhatve. If the existence of Atma is known without any means of knowledge such as perception, then what's the use of these sense organs? If you say that you do not require sense organs to know the Atma, you do not require mind also to know the presence of Atma, then what's the use of mind and sense organs? Tesham anarthakyam. Meaning that because mind is there, because the organs of perception are there, therefore Atma must be revealed. Otherwise, what's the use of this? The fact that mind is there, organs of perception are there, means that they serve a purpose. And if you say that you do not need them for knowing the self, knowing the existence of self, do not need perception or anything else, then what use do they have? Then they become redundant. So to that Bhashyakara says, Tasya hi प्रत्यक्षादीनि प्रमाणानि अप्रसिद्ध प्रमेय सिद्धये उपादीयन्ते। प्रत्यक्षादीनि प्रमाणानि, the means of knowledge beginning with pratyaksha or perception, अप्रसिद्ध प्रमेय सिद्धये उपादीयन्ते. So Atma uses this means of knowledge for establishing or for knowing what is unknown. Atma requires this pramanam for knowing or revealing what is not revealed. Atma is self-revealed, therefore this pramanas are not required. But there are many things that are not self-revealed, or anatma is not self-revealed, therefore for revealing them we require this pramana. So pramana means the means of knowledge are not redundant. They are redundant with reference to self, meaning that you do not need them for knowing the presence of self or knowing the self, but you very much need them for knowing everything other than self. ननु प्रमेयस्यापि स्वप्रकाशत्वं किम न स्यादिति. You say that Atma is swaprakash hai, why not anatma be everything swaprakash hai? You say that Atma reveals itself, why not everything reveals itself? So even all pots and pans also, why not they are also self-effulgent or self-revealing? To that answer is given nahi iti. Nahi आकाशादयः पदार्थाः प्रमाण निरपेक्षाः स्वयं सिद्धाः केनचित् अभ्युपगम्यन्ते. नहीं आकाशादयः पदार्थाः, all these entities, all these substances such as space and others, praman nirpeksha swayam siddha, that their presence, that they can reveal their presence without the need of a means of knowledge. Praman nirpeksha, that these entities, space and others, that independent of any means of knowledge, swayam siddha, that they can reveal themselves, nahi kenachit abhyupagamyate, nobody ever accepts. Vaisheshika, then nobody accepts that the objects of the world can reveal themselves without the means of knowledge. Everybody accepts that the whole world, beginning from Akasha, requires an appropriate means of knowledge to reveal itself. So we keep talking about a pot which requires eyes, but that's not the only object. There are fivefold objects: Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa and Gandha. And they require corresponding organs of perception. Shabda requires the organ of hearing. Sparsha requires the organ of touch. The form and color require the organ of sight, the eyes, and so also. So, all of these objects of the world, they require, because there is no way that I can experience the taste unless the pramanam, my palate, is brought into operation. Without that, I cannot experience taste. I cannot see colors and forms unless eyes are brought into operation. I cannot hear sounds unless the ears or faculty of hearing is brought into operation. So we have to bring into operation the appropriate means of knowledge for knowing those corresponding objects. Those corresponding objects cannot be known, cannot make themselves known unless the appropriate means of knowledge is employed. So we have to employ the appropriate means of knowledge. Therefore, nobody accepts or that these objects of the world are independent for revealing themselves. जड़त्वात् अनभ्युगमाच्च न स्वतः सिद्धता तेषाम्. Everything other than Atma is jadam, is inert, meaning paraprakashyam. And so, anabhyupagamaccha, nobody accepts them also self-revealing, therefore, na svata siddhata. So, Atma is only svata siddha. Atma or self is the only self-revealing, self-existing entity. Everything else, nothing else is self-revealing or self-existing. So says Ratnava Ataha na pramana vayartham iti bhavaha. Therefore, the pramana, the means of knowledge are not redundant, they have their own application. Even though the means of knowledge have no application with reference to Atma, does not mean that they have no application at all. There are entities called Anatma, and for that you require certainly all the means of knowledge. Therefore, they have their own use or application. Then Ratnavara continues, Atma api man adhina siddhika kim nasyat. Why not? Atma also requires a pramanam for revealing itself. Why not? Why do you say that Atma does not require a means of knowledge to reveal itself? Why not Atma also requires a pramanam? So, mana means pramana. Mana adhina siddhikaha. Mana adhina siddhi yasya saha. So, why not you say that Atma also requires a pramanam for revealing itself, for being known? Kim nasyat. Why can't that be the situation? To that the answer is given. Atma tu pramanadi vyavahara ashrayatvat prageva pramanadi vyavaharat siddhyate. Atma tu pramanadi vyavahara ashrayatvat. What is Atma? Very ashraya, very basis of all this vyavahara, all this transaction. So this verse goes very well here. Pramata cha, pramanam cha, prameyam pramitis tatha, yasya prasada siddhyandi, tat siddho kim apekshate. Only when Atma is there, that is pramana, prameya, pramiti, pramata, vyavahara is possible. The film can be seen only when there is the screen. Without that, the film can't be seen. Similarly, this whole vyavahara is like a film of pramata, prameya, pramanam, pramiti. The knower, the known, the means of knowledge, the cognition, all of this film can take place provided there is a screen which is Atma or the consciousness. So, pramanadi vyavahara ashrayatvat. It is ashraya, that is basis for all the vyavahara, all this transaction or interaction, such as means of knowledge, etc. Pramanadi vyavaharat prageva siddhyati. So, screen must be there before the film is shown. You cannot start showing the film and then bring the screen later. It's not possible. Similarly, Atma, the very screen, the very basis must be there. A platform must be there for the play to take place. A stage must be there for the play to take place. It's not the play has begun and the stage comes later. Similarly, the stage, namely Atma, must be there before any such transaction of knowledge takes place. So, pramanadi vyavaharat prageva siddhyati. Atma being the very basis of this whole transaction of knowledge, knower, known, etc., it must be there beforehand. And therefore, does not depend upon the pramana, prameya. They all depend upon Atma. Atma does not depend upon any pramana, or prameya, or pramiti, or pramata. They all depend upon Atma. Matstani sarvabhutani nachaham teshu avasthitah. They are all superimposed upon me. They are all dependent upon me. They are all because of me. I am not because of them. I am not superimposed. I am Satyam. They are Mithya. So Mithya always requires the very basis of Satyam. A reflection is possible only when the face is there in the first place. So face is Ashraya, the very basis of reflection. It cannot be that reflection is there without the face. The face comes later on. It's not possible. Meaning that face must be first there for the reflection to take place. The stage must be first there for the play to take place. The screen must be first there for the film to be shown. So also Atma, the consciousness, must be first there for this transaction of the knower known knowledge to take place. So really speaking, what we call pramata or the knower is nothing but consciousness manifesting through the I thought. What we call prameya, the object of knowledge also, same consciousness manifesting through name and form. So what we call pramiti, the ghatakara vritti, is also same consciousness manifesting through a thought. Idam vritti. Pramata is aham vritti, pramiti is idam vritti, prameya is a name and form. And therefore, all of these really are different manifestations of the same consciousness. So, in any transaction of knowledge, same consciousness manifests as these four entities. The pramata, prameya, pramanam, pramiti is consciousness manifesting as all these four. Therefore, they are all different roles taken by consciousness. For any role to be possible, the actor must be there to begin with. So, whether a beggar or a king or a minister, all of these are dependent upon the actor. Actor is called ashraya. The very basis of these different transactions of begging, etc., so is possible only when the very basis is there. So, actor must be there before the beggar, before the king. So also consciousness must be there, Atma must be there before any of this pramana, prameya, vyavahara takes place. Therefore, actor is not dependent upon the beggar is dependent upon the actor. B is equal to A is not equal to B. So Atma tu pramadi vyavahar ashrayatvat prageva pramadi vyavahara siddhyate is explained by Ratnaprabha. Ayam arthaha. This time Ratnaprabha is very, very elaborate, in this particular instance. Otherwise, Ratnaprabha is quite brief. Nyaya Nirnaya is more elaborate, but here Ratnaprabha also is very elaborate. Ayam arthaha निश्चित सत्ताकम ही ज्ञानम प्रमेय सत्ता निश्चायकम निश्चित सत्ताकम ज्ञान प्रमेय सत्ता निश्चायकम प्रमेय सत्ता निश्चायकम. So now looking at any experience of knowledge, all epistemology, this is the discussion of how the knowledge takes place. So, the prameya satta nischayakam. Prameya is the object of knowledge such as a part. Satta means existence. Nischayakam, so that which establishes existence. So what establishes the existence of a part? Prameya, an object such as a part. Nishchita sattakam hi jnanam. The jnanam, the knowledge must be first there for the the existence of part to be known. Meaning that only when the ghatakar vritti is there, jnana means cognition. So only when the cognition is there, when ghatakar vritti is there, then only the presence or existence of the ghata can be established. That the pot is. When can it be ascertained that the pot is? Only when the pot thought is. So jnana means cognition, means the ghatakar vritti. So only when ghatakar vritti is there, that the existence of the ghata can be established. So for existence of ghata to be established, the ghatakar vritti must be there. So nischita sattakam jnanam prameya satta nischayakam. Nischita sattakam jnanam. When whose satta is nischita, that the part thought exists, then alone the existence of part can be established. Gives example here. Gehe ghato drishto navayati. Hey, did you see a pot in the house or not? Gehe in the house, ghato drishta nava. Did you see a pot in the house or not? Iti jnana samshay. Did you see a pot or not? Na drishta iti vyataveka nischay. So no, I have not seen it. So when abhava nischay takes place, you ask him, hey, did you see a pot there or not? When he says, I did not see it, Vyatireka Nischay is there. Abhava Nischay is there, that the pot is not. Then you don't know how the pot is. So whether pot is there or not, and how big the pot is, what is the nature of pot, all of these cannot be determined if the pot is unknown. So when somebody is, you're not seen something. You ask, have you seen Timbuktu? I have not seen. Then you don't know how big what Timbuktu is. So any nischaya or any ascertainment about an object such as Timbuktu cannot take place unless it is seen. That the pot is a big pot, is a 2-liter pot, etc., can be determined only when the pot is seen in the first place. When pot is not seen, then its existence cannot be established. So existence to be established requires knowledge. It is knowledge or cognition because of which we can establish the presence of something. So whether there is a pot in my hand, your answer will be no, there is no pot because you do not see it. And then when I hold this in my hand, you say yes, there is a pot in your hand because you see it. So for determining or ascertaining the existence of pot, you need to know it. So only when the knowledge is there, cognition is there, that existence can be established. And when you say, I don't see it, that means that its existence cannot be established. Artha Swarupa Anischayat. The nischaya, the ascertainment of the nature of an object, cannot take place if its presence is not known. Jnana satta nischayasya na swatah. But even that the pot thought is there, the ghatakar vritti is there, also is not swatah. Even the ghatakar vritti also is not self-revealing. Karyasya swaprakashatva ayogat. Because even a pot thought or a ghatakar vritti also is not self-effulgent, also requires consciousness to illumine that. Napi jnanantarat. Why not? One thought may reveal by another thought. So what reveals this ghatakar vritti or any thought that takes place in our mind, how do you know that thought is? Does the thought reveal itself? Answer is no. Is a thought revealed by another thought? If a thought requires another thought to reveal that, then the second thought will require another thought to reveal that. In that case, anavastha, there will be infinite regression, and then you would not arrive at anything first that is revealed. Sakshana eva jnana satta nischyo vachya. Therefore, that there is a part thought can be established only when that part thought also is illuminated by Sakshi, by the witness, by the consciousness. So everything, so first of all, consciousness illumines the thought, and thought illumines the object. So consciousness illumines Ghatakar Vritti, and Ghatakar Vritti illumines the Ghata. So both Ghata and Ghatakar Vritti, both of them require consciousness to illumine them. Somebody says, no, the witness can be known by thought. The witness illumines thought, but thought illumines witness. How do you know that I am there? Because the thought is there. It says, Tatra sakshinas jnana adina satta nischaya anyonyashrasya. The consciousness illumines thought, and you say the thought illumines consciousness, then each one depends upon the other. So again, that also is illogical. अतः सर्वसाधकत्वात् आत्मा स्वतः सिद्ध है. Therefore, Atma or the consciousness is self-revealing. Because of that, thought is revealed. Because of that, object is revealed. And because of that, all this transaction takes place. So the fact that we know things, the fact that the objects are revealed, that means that there must be an entity that must be self-revealing somewhere. If everything is revealed by somebody else, then there is no infinite regression. So either in anavastha, if one thought is revealed by another thought is revealed by a third thought, anavastha. The thought is revealed by Atma, and Atma is revealed by thought, then it's called anyonyashraya. All these are illogical things. So there must be nirashraya. There must be something that is not dependent upon anything else for its revealing, and you would accept that that is Atman, which then reveals everything else. Atah sarvasadhakatvat Atma swatah siddha. So sarvasadhakatvat, that which establishes everything. Sadhakam, that which establishes everything. Atma is that which establishes everything, proves everything. You arrive at everything by Atma. You arrive at the existence of anything because of Atma. Therefore, Atma is sarva sadhakaha. Atma is the one that establishes the existence of everything. Therefore, swata siddha, it must be self-revealing. Otherwise, there will be no vyavastha at all. There will be no order at all. So this is how Atma is Swaprakasha. For this transaction of knowledge to take place, there must be something that is self-revealing. If you require something else to reveal everything else, so the question, a very smart question is asked by them always. Recently I was reading also in the Times editorial that these people, the young people are different, they ask questions. So they talk about God, but then the young people ask questions, who created God? Now they think that if you cannot answer the question, then you don't know what you're talking about. So assume that everything is created, because no, the fact that creation takes place means that there must be something that is uncreated. The fact that knowledge takes place, that means that there must be something that is self-known. The fact that effect is there, there must be an uncaused cause. Somewhere all of these has to rest. Somewhere it must culminate. Otherwise, no creation takes place. Every cause requires another cause, then the first cause is not established, that means effect is not, then world will not be there. The fact that world is there, that means that there must be a basis for it being there, which must be self-established, self-revealing. Then Ratnavara Swaprakashasyapi Bada Kim Nasyaditi. All right. So he established that Atma is Swaprakasha, self-revealing. Tasyapi badha kim nasyat. So why can't you negate that? Already Atma is self-revealing. But just because it is self-revealing, so what? Why can't we negate it? So Bhashyakara says, Nacha idrushasya nirakaranam sambhavate. Idrushasya, of this Atma, who is of nature of this, what it is? Self-revealing. So Atma, that is self-revealing, the negation of Atma, that is self-revealing, is not possible. Explains Ratnaprabha, Jadam hi parayatta prakashatvat agantukam bhadayogyam. Jadam hi parayatta prakashatvat. What is Jadam? Requires something. Jadam is paraprakasham. So parayatta prakashatvat. Since Jadam, all the worlds, the objects of the world, they are inert. Meaning that they are dependent upon something else for being revealed. Bhadayogyam. So if you don't reveal, it is negated. See, simple thing, that a part depends upon the eyes or consciousness to reveal itself. If you stop revealing, then part is negated. So part requires eyes to reveal itself. Close your eyes, the part is negated. So whatever requires something else to reveal is subject to being negated. Bhadayogyam. Like these words. If you close your ears or your mind is away, then words have no capacity to reveal themselves. So you negated the words. The whole world also depends upon me, my mind, for revealing itself. If the mind is closed as in deep sleep state, then the world is negated. So whatever is dependent upon something else for its being revealed is subject to being negated because it has no freedom to reveal itself. So what is badha? Negation is what? That which is unknown, that which is out of my consciousness. Meaning that I have the freedom not to be conscious of anything. I have no freedom not to be conscious of Atma. I have no freedom. But I have the freedom not to be conscious of anything else. I have the freedom to eliminate, reject everything by just closing my mind. Everything, then Gaudapadacharya would say that everything is the oscillation of mind. The mind oscillates. That's how the universe is created. The mind stops oscillating. Nothing is there. And thus everything is available for being negated because it depends upon something else to reveal itself. Na prakashatma swarupam aswaprakashatma swarupam. But Atma is swaprakasha and therefore not subject to being negated. Tasya sarvabhada sakshi swarupasya nirakartarandar abhavat. Yeah, that will come later. Okay. Sunacha idrushasya nirakaranam sambhavati. Atma, that is self-revealing, cannot be negated in any way. Says Nyaya Nirakaranatvam tad adhina atmalabham tad viruddham udayati. Even Nirakaranam also depends upon the Atma. Any Nirakaranam, any negation requires Atma, then only the negation can take place, and therefore without Atma, negation also cannot take place. So everything can be negated, but Atma, the self-effulgent, cannot be negated. Okay, we'll continue. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti Shanti शान्तिः शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ।